All right, guys, we've talked about toddler sleep basics. We've talked about sleep hygiene. Let's say you're doing everything right and yet your toddler still has difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up too early. What is going on? Let's talk about the two main causes of this type of sleep disruption in toddlers. Now, these two causes of sleep disturbance are usually the case if your child is otherwise healthy, developing normally, doesn't have any other medical issues. Okay, it usually falls in one of these two categories. It could fall into both, actually, and your job is to first figure out which category your child's sleep issues fall into. They're both labeled as behavioral insomnias of childhood, and thankfully they have behavioral solutions, things that you can do immediately to start helping them sleep better. So let's talk about each one. The first common pattern is a child that has to wake up multiple times at night and needs help falling back asleep. And so the caregiver comes back in and has to do something like hold them, rock them, etc., to help them fall back asleep. In almost all situations, the problem goes back to the very beginning of the night and how that child fell asleep. And in almost all cases, a parent is helping them in some way transition from wake to sleep, holding them, rocking them, feeding them, etc., to get them to make that transition. Now, that would not be a problem in the beginning of the night if all we did once we fell asleep was sleep in a nice, deep sleep. But the truth is, nobody sleeps through the night. Everybody wakes up multiple times at night. So awakenings are normal. So if your child needs help falling asleep at the beginning of the night, they're going to likely need help multiple times throughout the night when they wake up during normal nighttime awakenings. Now, the fancy sleep medicine term for this issue is called behavioral insomnia of childhood sleep onset association subtype. Sleep onset association is anything that you associate with the process of falling asleep, something that helps your brain go from wake to sleep. Adults can have these too. If you have to have a TV on to fall asleep, you have a sleep onset association. But infants and toddlers, oftentimes it's a caregiver, some sort of caregiver intervention. There are lots of scientifically proven techniques to help wean a child off of a sleep onset association, and we're going to be getting into a lot of those techniques in future videos. The second pattern of challenge with toddlers is difficulty with initiating sleep because they make multiple requests, multiple curtain calls. They don't like to stay in their room. They're asking for one more hug, one more glass of water, one more book, and they delay, and that causes a later bedtime and potentially sleep deprivation. This is known as behavioral insomnia of childhood limit setting subtype because there are challenges with setting limits for the child in order to help them fall asleep. And we're going to talk about lots of techniques for this as well. So think about which pattern your child falls into. They might have both issues. They might have challenges with limit setting and then need your help to help them fall asleep, thereby also having a sleep onset association. So think about that, and we'll dive into the details of each one really soon. Thanks. Sleep well, friends.